Good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you all for being here with me. I appreciate it. I hope everyone at home is doing well. And I know Reverend Sue is having a blast with family up at Fernandino Beach.
Ooh.
Yes. So you can all say hi if you want.
Hi!
Happy birthday!
Not yet, that's next week.
Well, birthday cake.
Yeah, we're eating your birthday cake. And I'd like to do a shout out to Sonny and Warwick and Lorraine and my sister Maureen. We got you in our hearts and prayers.
Yes, we do.
So know that. And to everyone out there, we are so glad that you joined us. So let me start out by claiming You Say by Lauren Daigle is a really great song, isn't it?
Yes.
And our choir just knocked it out of the park. I loved it. Thank you. Woo-hoo. Go ahead, give them another round. That was a good song to open up our talk today because it's a great example for us to begin this conversation on how we see ourselves versus how God sees us. We all, or at least most of us, have a hard time, I think, knowing the truth of who we are. Now, I realize we all know it here in our head. We have been, we're being moved. Okay, that's good. Now, I know we all know it in our heads. We've been told this truth, and it resonates with us. We know it to be true. But with all our humanness, the stuff that we've been through, the things we've done and said and thought, all that messy stuff makes it hard to feel that truth of who we really are so that we can have the experiences that we deserve and that we want. And so since we're not having those experiences, that means the truth hasn't gotten into our heart of hearts. It hasn't nudged out those old beliefs yet. So we add that to our prayers, that we end up seeing and begin to believe in ourselves, even while the messy stuff plays out in our experiences. Because we do know better. But for now, let's take ourselves off the hook. Let's give ourselves a little bit of a break, okay? Because our path of all those old beliefs and judgments that we have been living with is still in control sometimes. You know why I call it a path? You know how a path is made, right? You walk it over and over and over until it's rutted. Well, we have walked that path of old beliefs and judgments of ourselves all our lives. And now we learn that things can be different, and they will be. So don't get frustrated or angry or disappointed with yourself with those old habitual thoughts pop back up. Because by those negative emotions that you're doing, the frustration and the anger, you are just making the rutted path more rutted. Let me share something from Ram Dass. It's about when you slip back to old patterns. He says just to recognize it. It's the ability to see it without denying it. Not saying, I'm not really upset, but I am upset. Far out. Don't forget he's from the 60s. Here we are again. It's like talking with God and saying, oh, look at how deliciously human I am. Not to milk it, not to keep feeding it, but not to push it away. That's the quickest way to acknowledge it, allow it, and then get on with it and just keep letting it go, and letting it go. Allowing yourself to see how lost you've gotten. I mean, on the deeper devotional path, there is the offering of the emotion to God. He says, here, you take it. I offer it to you. And that way I am appreciating my humanity. Yeah, here I am. I'm human. I just lost it again. Ah, so. That's what I know him for. Yeah, so. Here it is again. So when you've noticed you've slipped into those old beliefs, do like Ram Dass. Simply say, this again. Just acknowledge it and say, well, that's how I believed for so long. But now I know better. So I think this now. I believe this now. Keep doing that each and every time. And before you know it, you'll have made a new path. And just like we spoke on last week, prayer is our umbrella. And boy, did we need it today. I was blown in here. I'm still drying out. I was a wet rat. But those prayers that are our umbrella, they bring in our unionness. God, I feel lost. I feel unworthy and weak. But I know you see me differently. You see me strong and capable and worthy of all good. You love me and treasure me. Help me see as you do. I am ready to let all of that stuff that no longer serves my good, if it indeed ever did serve my good, I'm ready to let it go now. And you just let it go. Think as Ram Dass. Here, God, you take it. I offer it to you. As the saying is, what man meant for evil, God means for good. God can use anything we give, we turn over, and make something good out of it. So here, God, you take it. You take the doubts I'm doubting, the worries I've been worried with, the fears I've feared. I let it go. Here, God, you take it. Let me tell you a little story. Once there lived an old man who was a retired carpenter. Most days he was quite grumpy, and he didn't feel much purpose in his life now since retirement. One day he was asked to build some wooden crates for the clothes his church was sending to an orphanage in China. After completing this work, he was on his way home when he reached into his pocket for his glasses, and they were gone. The old man tried to remember where he could have left them. He wondered if they could have slipped out of his pocket unnoticed and fallen into one of those crates he made and nailed shut. Was his brand new pair of glasses heading to China? He had just spent a good amount of money this very morning to buy them, and he didn't have much money left because of that. So he was very upset by the thought of having to buy another pair. The old man was frustrated, and he said, "It's not fair, God. I have been very faithful in giving of my time and my money to your work. And now this? I have to spend another $20 on another pair of glasses?" Now, several months later, the director of orphanages was on furlough in the U.S., and he wanted to visit churches that had supported his mission in China. So on Sunday, he came to speak to the old man's little church. The director began by thanking people for their support to the orphanage. And then he said, "But most of all, I must thank you for that pair of glasses. You see, last year the communists had just swept through the orphanage, destroying everything, including my glasses. Along with not being able to see well, I had these horrible headaches every day. So my coworkers and I prayed every day a lot about this. Then your crates arrived. When my staff removed the covers, they found a pair of glasses just lying there right on top." The director paused, filled with emotion, then said, "Folks, when I tried on those glasses, it was as though they had been custom made for me. I want to thank you all for being a part of my answered prayer." The people of that small church listened and were very happy for him, but they thought that he must have confused them with another church, because there was no glasses on the list of items they gave to the old man to ship to China. But sitting quietly in the back with tears streaming down his face, an ordinary old man realized God used him in a very extraordinary way.
Very nice.
See, God can use anything for good. Even an old man's frustration and anger over losing his glasses. God can help two men see better. One physically with a pair of glasses worn, and an old man can see his life always has purpose. God always sees the good, especially in you. So see and think as God. When you think of yourself, don't go by what your bad thoughts in your head are saying, or even what people call you. Go by what God calls you. A good exercise to do to get you to that place is to list all the things that is of God. So go ahead and say it out loud. God is good.
God is good.
Love.
Come on.
Inclusive.
Loving, compassionate, powerful. Yep. All those words. So continue to do this on your own at home. When you're not feeling like that beloved child of God, list as many of those God qualities that you can think of, and then say, that is how God sees me. All of those wonderful things you said of God and meant it and believed in it is how God sees you and is certain of it with unwavering faith. All those old phrases you said to yourself, God never put those labels on you. God never called you fearful. God never called you regretful. God never said you were shameful. So you need to shake them off now and move forward. And get yourself a whole new set of Post-it notes and stick them on you. Ones that say courageous, worthy, relevant, powerful, wise, vitality. Yep, all those. Stick to them. That's what and how and who God sees you as. There's some Post-it notes on the tables there for you to take home. And I want you to write a God quality on each note and post it around your house in places that you will see throughout the day. Put it up on your bathroom mirror, on your refrigerator, on your dresser, on your closet door, on the front door, even in your car. See these wonderful words all day and imagine that is what God is saying of you all day. Each time you look at a note, and if it says courageous or beautiful or kind or loving, let that be your nod from God that He is thinking that you are courageous or beautiful or loving or kind. Can you do that?
Yes.
Good. Remember, your nod from God. Every time you see one of those wonderful words, it's His nod that He's thinking of you in that way. Let me tell you a little story I read recently. Once upon a time, at a large mountainside, there was an eagle's nest with 4 large eagle eggs in it. One day, an earthquake rocked the mountain, causing one of the eggs to roll down the side of the mountain to a chicken farm located in the valley below. The chickens knew they must protect this eagle egg, so they kept it safe and warm. Eventually, the egg hatched and a beautiful eagle was born. Being chickens, the only thing they could do was raise the eagle as a chicken. The eagle loved his home and his chicken family, but it seemed his spirit cried out for more. One day, the eagle looked to the skies above and noticed a group of mighty eagles soaring around. "Oh, wow," the eagle cried. "I wish I could soar like those birds." The chickens roared with laughter. "You cannot soar. You are a chicken, and chickens don't do that." The eagle continued staring at his real family up above, dreaming that he could be like them. Well, each time the eagle talked about his dreams, he was told it just couldn't be done. That was what the eagle learned to believe. After a time, the eagle stopped dreaming and continued to live his life as a chicken. Finally, after a long life as a chicken, the eagle passed away, never knowing who he truly was. Well, I don't like that ending. Luckily, I found another version. So let me tell you another little story. When the eagle was very young, it fell from the safety of its nest. A chicken farmer found the eagle and raised him in a chicken coop among his many chickens. The eagle grew up doing what chickens do, living like a chicken and believing he was a chicken. But a zoologist came by to the chicken farm one day because he heard of this eagle acting like a chicken and wanted to see it for himself. He knew the eagle was king of the sky, so he was surprised when he saw the eagle strutting around the chicken coop, pecking at the ground and acting very much like a chicken. The zoologist knew there was more to this great bird than his actions showed as he pretended to be a chicken. He was born an eagle. He had the heart of an eagle, and nothing could change that. The man lifted the eagle onto the fence surrounding the coop and said, "Eagle, stretch forth your wings and fly." The eagle moved slightly, only to look at the man. Then he glanced down in his home among the chickens in the coop, where he was comfortable, and he jumped off the fence and continued doing what chickens do. The farmer said, "I told you, he's a chicken now." The zoologist returned the very next day and tried to convince the eagle and the farmer once again that he was born for something greater. He took the eagle to the top of the farmhouse and spoke to him again. "Eagle, you are an eagle. You belong to the sky, not to the earth. Stretch forth your wings and fly." The large bird looked at the man again and then looked down into the chicken coop and jumped off the farmhouse, ready to become a chicken once again. Knowing what eagles really are about, the zoologist asked the farmer to let him try one more time. He would return the next day and prove that this bird was an eagle. The farmer just said, "Okay, I think it's a chicken now. He thinks he's a chicken now, but you can come back and try one more time." So the man returned the next morning, and he took the eagle and the farmer some distance away, to the foot of a high mountain. They could not see the farm nor the chicken coop. The man held the eagle up in his arms and pointed high to the sky, where the bright sun was beckoning above. And he spoke to the eagle. "Eagle, you are an eagle. You belong to the sky, not the earth. Stretch forth your wings and fly." This time the eagle didn't look at the man. The eagle looked skyward into the bright sun as his family of eagles were soaring by. He straightened his large body and he stretched his massive wings. His wings moved slowly at first, then surely and powerfully, and with the mighty screech of an eagle, he flew and joined his family of eagles in the sky. So which story are we? Will we continue to believe the old language from our past and the things that we say in our heads and live our life as a chicken? You might think you're a chicken, but you are not. You are not meant to peck on the ground. You are meant to soar like an eagle. Believe in the God voice within that says you are courageous and awesome and can do amazing things. Soar. You are brave. Soar. That's a good post-it note too. You should write that one. And I want to share this quote from Michelle C. Clark. She said, "When you're nervous about stepping outside of your comfort zone, remind yourself, it feels scary because it's unfamiliar, not because you're incapable." Let that one resonate with you. So let's remember, God sees you more powerful than an eagle and knows you as having a great purpose and can make good out of any situation. And you are never, ever alone. So one more little story for you. One day, a ship was wrecked in a storm, and the only survivor washed up on a small uninhabited island, and he was very frightened. He prayed to God to rescue him, but for days there was no help. No one came to rescue the man. Exhausted one day, he looked around for things to build a hut with. He used the driftwood, parts of the ship that washed up, and made a decent hut. He felt badly that his prayers are not being heard, and that he would have to live here on this island all alone. He collected things from around the island that would help him live, and he kept them all inside this hut he built. Days went by, one after another. But one day, when he was gone scavenging for food, he returned to find his hut in flames, and all his possessions once again burnt. The man was broken. He lost everything once again. Everything he built here to survive was gone. He was stunned with grief and anger. He cried and shouted, looking towards the sky, and said, "God, why? Why are you doing this? How could you do this to me?" The man cried and eventually cried himself to sleep. However, early the next day, he was awakened by the sound of an approaching ship. He was in disbelief that finally a ship had come to save him. Once aboard, he had asked his rescuers how they found him. And they replied, "Well, we saw your smoke signal. Didn't you light that fire to get our attention?" Just then, the man realized his prayers were indeed heard, and he gave thanks. See, God sees us. God hears us. God loves us. We just need to trust this power within us, this goodness, this greatness within us. See yourself as God does. Speak to yourself as God would. Think of yourself as God thinks of you. And know you are never alone. And as Lauren's song suggests, all that matters is how God sees us. So let's believe in that vision, that loving vision of us. So now your prayer can end with, "Today I will begin a new path, one I joyfully walk upon, feeling your presence in all I do, say, and think. I trust and I let go and let God, amen, and so it is." Can we do that? Great. No mistake, my friends. Thank you. Now our choir is going to come up and sing, "Oh, Your Presence."
Oh, yay. I will switch the camera around here. Is everyone singing with us? Yes. You all have words on your table to sing along, and I'm going to hit the music right to the side. I don't want you to sing.
Look at me walking back over that phone down.
You rock.
I know. It's like I'm all grown up now.
Here's on the table.
Oh, you ready?